Hello. I just wanted to do a little quick video introducing this one before we get started, because there's a couple of things I want to explain. I want to talk about LARP videos on the channel and the consistency and how often they're going to be coming out, but also a little bit why this one is so late. So first things first, I want to make it 100% clear. I have no intention to stop doing LARP videos on the channel. Because this one took so long, a lot of people are like, I guess you're not doing these LARP videos anymore. When's the next LARP video coming out? Why has it been so long? Blah, 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 blah. A couple of things to explain here. One, there is a long time period between the last event of a year and the first event of a LARP event of a year where there are no events. It pretty much closes down for the entirety of the winter. So from the end of September until the end of April, there are no LARP events. So there is always going to be a long period without any event videos going on. So I want to make that 100% clear. Unless Profound Decisions ask me not to, or people in the community get really upset by these videos, I have no intention to stop doing them. In fact, I've spoken to Matthew Pennington, the owner of Profound Decisions, who absolutely loves what the videos have done. They've brought loads of new players to Empire, and he's actually very happy for me to do a little bit of filming before time in with people I know don't mind being on video. So that's going to be people from Action Hall or close personal friends of mine, so that you can see a little bit more of like the costumes and the tents and the camps and stuff like that. I will never, and I want to make this 100% clear, there will never be recordings of people going out and role-playing. It's a personal thing that people just want to enjoy. I don't want to be corking a camera around everywhere and doing that sort of stuff. B, it's our time to relax. We don't necessarily want to be out on camera personalities and kind of aware of what's going on. C, it's a little bit cringy. If you're not there, you're not in the moment, it's never going to look on camera. So I just want to make that 100% clear. A lot of people are always saying like, why don't you film it when you film it? There's your answer. The next thing I want to talk about is why this video is so late. Whilst we were at the last event that happened in September, I think, it was discussed that there'd be some drone footage, and Matt Pennington said that he'd be happy for me to use that. I thought it'd be a cool addition to the video. So when we got back, we filmed it, myself, Trott and Smith, got down, we talked about it, and we talked a lot about like, oh, this would be a cool bit to show of the drone footage. Oh, this would be, yeah, we talk about the drone, blah, 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 blah. Sadly, that drone footage is not going to happen now. I've not been able to get the raw footage through no fault of Profound Decisions. Want to make that 100% clear. We tried to keep in touch as much as possible, constantly asking for updates. It's just sadly not going to happen for a load of reasons that I'm not going to go into. But yeah, sadly, no drone footage in this one. So you're going to hear us a lot talking about it. Very sorry to say that it's not there. Hopefully next year there will be some little behind the scenes videos that I can do of the kind of crew area, a little bit of Action Hall, which is our tent, our little group. We can actually film inside that. You can meet some of the other members of Action Hall as well, and hopefully that will be really cool. So yeah, just a little video explaining why this one's taken so long, that I'm still going to be doing these videos after every event, but that there is a large period of time where there aren't any videos going on. Yeah, so that's it. I am going to be going to a couple of player run events very early in the year. I'm going to try and record these, but again, it's very much up to those event organizers if they're okay with me doing that, and how much of that I can actually film and talk about. It might just be me sat down with some of the other guys from Action Hall talking about what went on, everything else. So just a little thing there, and yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoy this. This was the autumn solstice. We had a great time at it. It was a load of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video. So sorry it's been so late. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Tabletop Weekly LARP podcast, joined by Mr. Bron. I can't actually remember what Bron's surname is.
Bron Weasley.
Mordson. Bron Weasley.
Fuck you.
I don't remember that one. Mr. Alex Smith, Bron Mordson of Orphan Curious Things, the company's inherited. And Chris Trott, also known as Grim.
Grim with one M.
With one M now.
I keep messing it up.
To be honest, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to have a name that ends in N ever again. Honestly, it's a nightmare.
So yeah, welcome back. We are recording this LARP podcast significantly later than we normally do. We've been just really busy, but also we're hopefully you would have seen some already, some awesome drone footage that Profound Decisions had they paid for and got done, which they've kindly given to me as well. Also waiting on photos, and just we've been really busy, and also we've got this nice new backdrop in the offices.
Well, as in, it's not a green screen.
We took the paint off and found all this lovely brick beneath it.
It's just beautiful. Ignore the poly filler, that's just fixing gaps. So yeah, that's it. And it's just another talking about the last Profound Decision event of 2017. In fact, it's going to be a while until the next ones.
Don't talk about it.
I'm sorry,
I can't bear to think about the half a year gap.
You guys aren't even going to do. You're not coming to any of the player events.
Well, no,
either.
because Empire Day sold out immediately, and that was one I was quite interested in. I think. I don't know. I'm one of these guys that's like, yeah, player-run events and player-sanctioned events sound really good, but I'll always be wanting more.
Maybe we should do one. I could hire one of the ships in Bristol Harbour to be the Centennial Hawk, be Siggy's ship, and then I'll be like, Captain Sigvald invites you for a day on the sea. That would be amazing.
That would be so good.
Oh, maybe we can look at that. So yeah, it was the last one of the year, which is weirdly the way that Profound Decisions in Empire works out. It's the autumn event, not the winter event. That's the last one. But we had the weather was okay for it. I think I'm trying to remember.
Personally, my perfect kind of weather. Little tiny bit of rain.
Little tiny bit of rain, bit muddy.
We were expecting it to be way worse.
Yeah, because the year before you guys started coming before this year, the year before, it was super muddy. It was like really muddy. There were storms. It was pretty bad.
We were preparing for the worst.
Yeah, you guys prepared, and I think that played out though, right? Because you guys prepared for the worst. We had like wellies and thick boots, but it actually ended up being not too hot, not too cold, a bit muddy but tolerable. Which was nice.
I really liked it. Perfect weather for winter mark clothes.
Yeah, definitely for winter mark clothes. Like we fucking nailed that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that happened. I know, like for me, there was a lot of big things that happened, and they kind of took up my whole weekend. Like I ended up doing a lot more than I expected to at this event because I was feeling a bit like, oh, do I want to keep playing Siggy? I don't know, am I enjoying it? And then this event kind of turned all of that around. But I don't know for you guys how like busy it was for you.
Mine was pretty chill, I'd say. One of my more low-key events, I'd say. I didn't really get stuck in or actively pursue anything.
Or mega drunk.
Oh, no, you still did that.
Yeah.
On the Saturday, which is a whole story.
It's so hard with you though because I can never tell when you're like really drunk.
Because everyone else is drunk.
Well, that's it. I think it's when up until you get to a certain level, you just seem normal, and then I'm like, oh no, he's drunk. And then Smith is like, yeah, that means he is really fucking drunk. When you like collapse into your tent fully clothed and just pass out,
that's a good indication.
Okay, nice.
But yeah,
what about you, Smith? How was it? Busy event?
Again, it was actually quite a chilled out one for me. I relaxed a bit more because the previous event I was like going ham.
You went ham on like
I was away constantly, like all sorts of like little plot bits and stuff like that.
I mean, you were moving around a lot this event though.
Yeah, but it was.
Well, you made a lot of jerky to sell.
Oh, I made so much jerky, and it's going to be that's the last of Orphan Grimm's jerky.
Oh, really?
Not making any more.
We made it clear to anyone buying that it's the last
limited
stock.
edition. It's super. Like we've always sold out of it, and I'm really proud that we always sold out of it. But holy shit, it takes so much work and so much money to like real world money.
And you still get tight asses like, £5.
Well, no, I charge £1 a bag, which is a lot. Like a lot is. To be fair, like some people only earn 18 rings, an event, so it is a lot.
Yeah.
But it cost me personally probably about 70 quid for the materials, and then about 5 days to make it in my kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
fair.
Yeah, this was great fun. I've learnt a skill. I've sold it. Brilliant. People love it. I'm not doing it.
I'm done.
Next season we're going to be doing hot mulled cider and hot chocolate.
Nice. Well, for winter, that's perfect.
Yeah, for the winter solstice.
Winter April.
April. Yeah. It will still be not great weather, but it will be better.
I checked the weather because I was looking at what to sell.
I like how you're like, I'm going to browse the weather.
Last night I was like, average temperatures Oxford in April, and it gets down to, it got down to -5 last April, but it should stay cold. Colder than any other event. So
there you go, perfect for winter.
And we like to manipulate and maximise on people's current temperature.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I think, like serving hot mulled cider and chocolate is very winter marky.
Yeah,
like, we want hot drinks. We're a cold nation. We come from cold lands.
I've just got to work out how to RP a thermos flask. Like wrap it in some fur or something.
Or like get like one of those like the thermal jugs. Like they look more like kettle kind of jugs.
Yeah,
so you can get one of those.
They're really expensive.
Well, yeah.
They're like 30 quid minimum.
That's always the problem.
A fur bag would be fine.
A fur bag.
Satchel.
Yeah, if you cover it in like a fake fur, like make it look like a yak skin or something.
That doesn't eliminate the fact that it costs 30 quid. And
I'm saying for a thermos. Get like a cheap thermos.
Oh yeah, that's currently the plan.
Yeah. That works.
We've worked out, got to the bottom of that one. But yeah, in general, a relaxed event.
It was a relaxed event, I think, for you. I think Ashina Hall, us as a group, we're getting way busier because we've had... So one of the big things is our friend Steve, who plays Algar, has become
a boss seat holder. That was a big thing that happened.
Crazy.
What's a boss seat, Mark?
A boss seat. So the boss is kind of like the merchant. I to give you a rundown, if you're not familiar with Empire, think of it like a merchant's guild. It's wealthy people that can buy a special seat, which gives them access to rare materials that can then sell for even more money. It's kind of like, it's the 1%ers, right? It's kind of like, I mean, you know a bit more about the boss than I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
Being
pretty
a
much right.
1%er.
It's one part merchants guild, one part auction house.
Yeah.
And yeah, so out of character, if you have a boss seat in the game, PD will give you a set amount of resources that are generated per event. So
like an extra resource in your little
Steve will get
sachet.
mithril.
Yeah, so the way it works is you have something called the national boss seats and something else, and the national ones are voted on by the nation. So this one was voted by Wintermarkers. Anybody who had a military unit could vote on this. And it's an actual location in Wintermark. It's called the Pride of Icar's Tears, which is like a big mountain. It's like a big ice glacier with like a sculpture on it. And he's responsible for it. So he's like the guardian of it. He maintains it.
Sits upon the ice throne.
He sits upon the ice throne, and he gets, because there is a mithril mine there, he gets a certain amount of mithril per season that he can then sell on or do whatever
Or
he wants
use
with.
for armies.
Or use for armies.
Mithril's one of the most valuable resources in the game as well. So yeah, you can use it to build armies, use it to improve mana sites, you can use it to do all sorts of things.
And I know for Steve, that was like a thing he wanted to do for a very, very long time. He wanted a boss seat, and now he's going to be helping us build a new army in Wintermark and loads of other cool stuff.
It basically
brings
has
a lot of
given
game.
him more clout to his trade decisions.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can be a great trader, but if there's no way you've come up with to make a lot of money, you know, you can turn 1 crown into 2 crowns, but unless you've got a lot of crowns to make 2 into 2 crowns, you know, you're not going to make a difference. So now it's given him that clout
to make a difference.
Yeah,
and
which is
stuff
really
like that.
awesome.
I think there's no better person that has that boss seat than him, because he knows his shit. He's very generous.
He has invested so much of his own personal time into researching this stuff as well. Like he's
always
really
sat
looked
there
at it.
doing the numbers.
It's like he works a job. It's like he's being an accountant,
And he
at
loves
LARP,
it.
and he loves it. Like it's quite sweet because he's got his own little table now, and he's got his ledger. He's like black bound ledger.
Everyone's always looking for the old.
And it's like they come up and he's like, okay, yeah, we'll buy that, and he'll write it down in his little ledger, and he's got his little box and everything. He loves it.
Until Sunday, when he gets super stressed out because everyone's making their final trades. He's like, really?
Okay, yep, I've got time.
It was nice to see. I think for me, especially, this event was much more about seeing everybody else achieve their personal objectives.
Yeah.
like that was one of them.
That was one of them.
You doing all your stuff.
I'll talk about that stuff in a bit. I think the other big one was our friend Andrew Pudd. He plays Tarek. And he's basically become known as like one of the best singers and bards in Empire. Like he's
songwriter as well.
Songwriter, because he's done 2 major songs now that Wintermark, like everybody in Wintermark just is like, we want to hear it. But
Play that same song again.
Play the same song basically.
Well, he entered the competition as well.
He entered a big competition in the league. A league theatre house did a competition, and he entered it. And the first prize was going to be 50 thrones, which is a lot of money in Empire. He didn't win the first prize, but they created an award category specifically for his performance because they were so impressed by it. And he got like a huge round of applause. He's now been asked to perform at one of the player events. He's been asked to come and perform at other nations next year.
Nice.
He's
well-known
getting out
bard.
there. Yeah, he's becoming a very well-known bard.
And he's an ashen hauler.
I know that the head judge, or at least one of the senior judges of that contest, was like, he was my favourite.
Yeah.
I was like, nice.
Yeah, well, we actually had one of the judges, one of the Dornish judges, come by.
Yeah,
and she was just like, "Oh, I voted for him 100%," and that was really nice.
I was meant to play with him. I missed it.
I missed it. It sucks.
So
we
bad.
were trading, and it was like, oh yeah, let's just go along.
Well,
It's
because it was very difficult, because we didn't know exactly when he was going to perform. So
we did all our trading and then walked along, and then I think we caught up with Roche. And
Rosha,
He's done it. It was really good. I'm like, what?
What is that? And it was like, oh shit.
So sorry.
I know that like Rochelle Lisa hosted Gin Club at Ashenhall, because we got the new big tent, and that was full of people. Like this was a time where I turned up to our own tent that we've all paid money for, and I was like, I can't fit in my own tent. There's too many random people in it. Like, I guess I'll go somewhere else. And then I was just
It is an awesome tent there. I love it. And it is nice that like sometimes I presume that everybody else offers the same level of hospitality that we offer in Ashenhall. And
We pride ourselves on
not necessarily the
hospitality.
case, and so it is really awesome that
I think a lot of people do it as well, but I think yes, we do a very good job of
Very outward with it.
Yeah, it's like if you come
inviting.
by, you get a drink, you get a seat, and you get to have a chat and a bit of food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of other groups that do it as well. But yeah, I think it's definitely a pride of Ashenhall is being very welcoming. Lots of new people, like
Loads.
shit tons of new people.
yeah.
Loads.
I got told, so I met up with Matthew Pennington actually before this event started, like I went and saw him before time in. He told me that over this year they've had basically a quarter of their usual numbers as new players on top of their usual numbers.
Nice.
So this event we had 210 brand new players. That was very evident in Wintermark because I think there was about 12 new people that came to our tent that were like, "It is my first time in Anvil. Hello, may we sit?" Yes. And then there was very much a lot of new folks coming, but again, lots of new people who were super nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you know, by the way, you remember, so our friend Mac from the Navarre, who we've talked about a few times, he brought around a couple of people. There was a Brass Coast lady with him, Santana. Do you remember Santana?
Yeah.
You know, she's a massive Hat Films and Tabletop Weekly fan.
No.
Yeah, so she's been in our Twitch chats for months.
Right, okay.
And she never mentioned a damn thing about it. So Santana is a fan. Like,
That is the best kind of fan.
It's amazing. She was chatting to me on Twitch in one of my streams, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'd love," and she talked. I said, "Oh yeah, when you were telling somebody about this," and I was like, "That's a very specific thing. I don't think I've mentioned that before." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I was there. I'm Santana." I was like, "What?" So that was really good.
Nice.
No, it was really good. Let's talk about some specifics and things like that. So
Let's restart on Friday.
Yeah, so
We turned up on time.
we turned up on time. We got to help build the tent. That was one thing
we
we've
put up
never
the
done.
tent.
Nothing fell off on the motorway.
Nothing fell off on the motorway. We didn't spend ages in a Tesco's or a Services.
Not too much drama, yeah.
Yeah, we
On the
actually
roads.
got there. We helped put the tent up. We put all of our tent up.
We helped, all right?
We did it. We
helped.
finally did it.
Yes.
And then it basically started with, we had like the moot and stuff like that. I got my thing about becoming a champion for the tourney, so I got basically to go and sort that out, which I'll talk
And you
about in a
knew
bit.
that ahead of
Yeah,
time.
so basically what happened was on Friday, I knew it was coming up, and I got a little thing in my packet. You get your little packet, your little carrot sheet with all your money and stuff, and it said, you're invited to come and have another meeting, blah, 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 the Herald's going to come and find you kind of thing. And later on the Friday evening, I got called over to Highguard, where Admiral Karkanos, who's one of the heralds of Rhiannos, was like, "Okay, I'm here to give you your special boon, my buff." But also, he also then sprung on
What did
me.
he do?
So basically, he got me down, and he had the other three champions there. He had Vito from the Brass Coast, who was one of the champions, and Maximilian from Dawn, who was the other one. And we got to sit down, and we basically had a chat with Admiral, who was in his full crab costume this time. He had these massive crab claws, and he
Pinchy mode.
physically couldn't. Yeah, it was basically Mr. Pinchy costume, but with a human face.
Right.
And he couldn't pick up drinks, so he had Alfred Beth Duna, who does the photographs. Her character Hazel was basically holding like drinks with straws in it. So he was like, he's like, "Now, Sigvard, big Mr. Pinchy crab," and he basically laid down like the rules of like the tourney. The buff he gave me 2 extra hero points for the weekend, which when I've got 3, that took me up to 5. And all I can use it for is unstoppable and relentless, baby! So that was really good. And then we basically got to meet with the other champions. But then he also did a thing where he sprung on me. He was like, "Now, last time we met, you told me about some quests that Wintermark would like to go on." I was like, yes. "Well, I've got one for you." And he basically gave me a quest. It was literally quest giver, yellow exclamation mark above his head.
And that was good because there's so many new Wintermark people.
Well, that was it. It was the idea of it was to take some new Wintermark people on a cool quest. And he gave me a time on the Saturday, so it was like 5 o'clock on the Saturday, I think, that there would be a conjunction. And a conjunction is basically a time when the refs know that a gate could be opened and take you to a thing. And we had to go to a tomb of a Wintermark hero, bypass her traps, and purify her body to remove her spirit. And it involved a lot of stuff of me. I basically spent most of Friday evening and Saturday morning running around trying to get water that the Highguard Egregore had washed her hands in, convincing her to do that for me, and then also learning more about the place I was going. So I kind of was running around trying to do all this stuff. Ended up biting me in the arse because I was very over-promising to the Highguard Egregore. I was like, "I'll definitely come back and tell you what we learn. Yep, definitely going to tell you everything about it. Great, thanks very much." And then that would later come to fuck me over when I actually did learn what was in this team. But then basically, yeah, so I was running around doing all of that and trying to prep up for this quest, which I just was not expecting. And so I didn't really get to see a lot of what was going on Friday because I was running around trying to sort all this mess out, basically. And the tourney was on the Saturday as well. So it was basically, my Saturday was battle, tourney, quests. And then I was done for the day.
It was crazy.
I think it was Friday night. I just got progressively more drunk. I wasn't really doing anything, just drinking. And then I decided to wander off because I was like, I'll go for just a little wander.
Yeah.
and I went into the Imperial Orcs.
Yeah.
Just quite
Oh, this is it, when you went in with no weapon on your own.
I went on my own without a weapon, and I just
don't
got
like that.
fucking surrounded.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you doing here, mate?" Like, you shouldn't be out here on your own. You got a weapon. They fucking frisked me.
Yeah.
They're like, "You fucking idiot." And I was just like, "Come on, it's my first time. I didn't know." And I was like, "What do you want from me? Do you want some drink?" And I was offering drink. It's like, "No, you need to come back here, or we're gonna kill you with a friend." And some drink and a weapon. Don't disrespect us ever again. And shit like that. And they were trying to shit me up, and I was like, turn around, look at him, and then he basically said the same thing behind me, and it's like they let me go because I was just being like, oh, okay, fine. I wasn't being like shit scared about it. I was just being like, sure, okay,
I'm drunk.
yeah. And so I went away, and then I had to find an Ashen Hauler to come back.
And you have to take a weapon with you.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, what they don't like is, because I think it's with the Imperial Orcs, if you turn up on your own without a weapon, they think, A, you've got something to hide, and B, they don't trust you. Like, they just don't, they think you're up to no good. Yeah. They think that you're turning up to do something dodgy.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, so like...
I guess disrespectful as well in a way is because you feel like you don't need to protect yourself against them.
Yeah,
that's that as well. Like,
stronger than they are. Yeah. Because you don't need a weapon.
Yeah.
Well, with your staff, you probably are stronger than half of them.
Wayo, I should have come back with that.
Paralyzed.
I should have come back with that.
Yeah, should have done.
Instead I came back with a dagger.
Well, wasn't it on Friday you also got a talking to by the Stormcrows as well?
Oh, yeah. So,
Well, that was this event. I thought it was the last event.
That was this event.
That's this event.
So last event, you had spent a lot of time being drunk and talking to Paul's character Arhan, who's our priest in Ashen Hall.
Another Stormcrow.
And you'd kind of gotten the idea as Grim that Arhan's a special person. And
Grim's not an intelligent man.
He's not. He's a very dumb
He's very
man.
naive, and Arhan speaks so much wisdom. He's so wise. He knows everything about, the way.
Everything.
And religion and all that stuff. And just the more, I was quite, baked on meat at this point. I was like soaking in Arhan, just gazing into his loving eyes. It's like, you're a god. And I started to believe that he was a god. Because you know everything. Gods know everything. You're a god. 3 steps to god.
Godhood.
Godhood.
101.
And Arhan,
It's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, and I think the rumours spread around and people started to find out, and the Stormcrows found out. And while I think I came back...
Very heretical. For those of you who don't know, by the way, in the
heretical.
religion of Empire, highly heretical to say that somebody is a god or something like that. So.
And at OC, I knew that.
You knew that, but
and I was
egging it on.
prodding the fire and shit.
Yeah, of course
and
you did.
just, seeing where this went, because Arhan was loving it, the
dialogue. Paul loves it, yeah.
So it was good RP for him to, teach Grim, no, don't say that, and you shouldn't talk about these things. But it came back to bite my ass, this event, because I had a Stormcrow take me out of my tent.
They took you to the rookery, right?
Took me to the rookery.
Yeah.
And it's this big circular tent, super dark. I didn't know what was going on, and she was super stern.
It was Raina, right?
It
was Raina,
yeah. A big beak, raven.
She's got the raven skull helm and stuff like that.
And she was just intense,
She's really good.
I realised what you've done. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah. I love this, by the way. So thank you for taking me away. And Arhan was there, and he had his mask down, being super fucking ominous.
Just walking around.
And I was like, yeah, Arhan was there, him. And he was refusing to interact with me because I think he was trying to be all
being mysterious
like a god.
Yeah.
And I was just basically, I was quite tipsy as well.
So you're being yelled at and you're like...
And she was basically making me explain myself. And I said a few other heretical things in there. For example, were you around when all these texts were written about all this stuff you're spouting at me? And she was just she had to think about it.
I love how Grim is but it's innocent asking of questions. He genuinely is I don't understand. Were you around?
You weren't alive when...
How do you know?
Surely these texts are really old. Were you there? How are you there? And stuff like that. And eventually I was like, yes, I understand the error of my ways. And I've learned now that Arhan isn't a god. And that's what I've learned.
That's the point. And so the funny thing for that is Paul, I was chatting to Paul out of character about this, and he was saying that the reason he had his mask down and he wasn't speaking is because he was trying so hard not to laugh and smile, because he was just this is great, Raina's just yelling at him and and also you talking back, it was he was literally having to look away because he was laughing. He was Paul was genuinely
I was just trying to think of the dumbest thing Grim would say at this point to really throw off the argument.
Really get him in trouble.
Yeah. and
good.
I didn't get killed.
No, you're fine. They're not going to kill you straight up.
I was, of course, absent during that priest meeting.
Yeah. Well, you're not really the best priest, are
Well,
you?
no, apparently not. I've quickly come to realise that
He's kind of a shit priest.
I'm not particularly good at. Well, I'd say
He's good at prosperity.
I like to think.
Prosperity priest.
I like to think that being a priest has been quite heavily defined by priest players.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Something else I was thinking about the other night, out of character, but eventually in character. I feel like the religion and priests in Empire have almost got too much power, especially the ones in Wintermark, because the way the religion's set up, there's like 7 virtues if you don't know about it, and essentially people should aspire to be virtuous in every way they can. The problem is there are so many virtues.
And they're also vague.
And they're also vague that you can pretty much sculpt an argument to either way. Like so
anything.
So there's been a ton of inquisitions recently, right? And because there was this person that had a truly our vision, which is like a spiritual journey that's widely considered as a real thing. It's not like a hallucination. It's like the reason the way is widely accepted in the Empire is because there's evidence that it is real. It is real. Okay,
Well,
so it's not necessarily a faith as such. It's like a spiritual system.
Yeah.
Now, some people agreed with this person who said that they were the first empress. They had a spirit, and in their last life or previous life, they were the first empress. And people were like, "Yeah, this is great. We should learn all about it." All sorts of stuff. And other people were like, "No, it's heresy." And eventually, she got. There was, I will say, I think it was heresy because there was some really suspect bits. Like basically,
I did look into
this person had seemingly fabricated evidence and stuff like that. Like I think it was heresy from what I've seen. However, now what's happening is priests are going around, the synod is going around inquisiting priests that supported Yale.
Yeah.
And if they find them unvirtuous, they're executed,
Yeah.
right? But
Classic.
the synod in itself, the synod's like
It's like the head of. It's like the Vatican.
yeah, it's like the Vatican, exactly, like the Vatican. So imagine like there are priests that vote on things, okay? And there are some priests that are more powerful because they have larger congregations or larger followings, as represented in game through various means. And basically, there's a large group of anti-Yale priests who want to get their own way. And they see that they can just eliminate other priests that are against their stance by inquisiting them. Right?
Heresy! Burn the witch!
Exactly.
I mean,
okay,
yeah.
so there is evidence, because I was privy to a conversation when I was in Throne Guard. There's evidence to suggest that
Worm time.
the head of the priesthood or the leaders of the priesthood are worried that people are getting killed because they're not agreeing with other priests' state of mind. Okay, and this
You heard it here first.
and this
Hot
is
scoop.
and this is my reason to start thinking that because the way is such a fluid and subjective set of virtues, the priests are becoming empowered by what is essentially an infallible truth, because they are the only ones that have the knowledge and the education and the spiritual commitment to tell others and preach to others how they should live their lives, right?
Yeah.
And so they've become empowered now through this religion that we are not qualified
Well,
to talk
also,
about.
it's a religion that is thoroughly supported by the governments and every other part of the
Exactly.
system. Like, it is a part of the empire. It's like if the British government was, completely together with the Church of England or something like that.
And if you were shown to not believe in God,
criminal.
executed. Exactly.
Exactly.
So that is causing Bron some issues. But Bron does like to chafe about the way of the world.
Well, I mean, no, it's interesting. I mean, I've for a long time I've been kind of playing it, but it's not really come up because nobody really takes Sigvald seriously. Sigvald's got some pretty strong opinions about the way that I think would probably get him in trouble if actually pursued on them. Not in a
Interesting.
way that Grimm is ignorant. Sigvald is very aware of what the way is and what it stands for. He's not a big fan of it, but nobody's ever really pushed me on it, which is interesting because I've had a few conversations, like Paul Arhan's been there and he said some stuff and I've said some pretty sort of like, well, that's what you think, or something like that back to him, and
never
nobody's ever
pursued
picked
it.
up on it. Yeah, exactly. So it'd be
Interesting.
quite interesting, like to hear some ideas.
I think
and
it
stuff.
is a real
It's an interesting
issue.
game system,
Yeah.
though, because it does kind of, how far does it go, and and we know this, that Matt P, the guy, a lot of the writers at Empire, they love conflict. They love the fact that players can just be like, fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna cause loads of trouble and do all that stuff. And it's interesting how much individual players can get involved even early on. Like, a priest can get, I think, 10 votes with the congregation to start with. But you can increase that pretty easily, and those 10 votes can sway things. Like
so votes are based on certain things like everything from whether someone is a heretic or not to other things like slavery and things like that.
Doctrines, like they can even like when the Imperial Orcs became part of the Empire, they had to vote into the doctrine, like to say Imperial Orcs are different to everybody else, but their religion's okay. So that way, not all Imperial Orcs were basically like fucking heretics. You don't believe in the way.
I've spoken to the Orcs, and they're bloody zealots. By the way, like
well, that's it. They've incorporated them now into it and made it all a part of how their ancestors work. Well, it's because they become ancestor spirits and stuff.
Yeah, they don't necessarily reincarnate.
But they've now, the way has now been adapted so that if you live a virtuous life as an orc, you
can bridge the void.
You bridge the void or something like that. I mean, I don't know the exact working.
It's spurious.
Of course it is.
Hell.
I mean, yeah, of course it is though, because it promotes
and
excellent
that's what PD
game.
loves, right? The spurious nature that causes conflict.
Well, even like the boss and stuff, there's like loads of dodgy shit that goes on there. Like, you know, you can mass conglomerate buy seats, and then people can turn around and be like, well, fuck it, no, I get the money, so screw you. You're not going to get your shares and stuff like that. Like, there's real pyramid schemes and stuff that go on.
The reason so there used to be a private boss. There's two kinds of auction for the boss as well. They do a public auction that anyone can go to, and they'll have like a series. It's really cool. I went this event on a Saturday. And basically they'll have a guy there with a list of lots and a gavel, and he'll have his sort of the boss assistant or something, like I think she's like manager. Yeah, something like that. She has all of the things they're selling there, and she has all the money and everything, and does all that for everybody. And essentially it's like, okay, lot number 1, like we have 5 wains of mithril, and then there's also other stuff. Like I bought 4 magical swords, for example, and like.
You did?
Yeah, the cheap ass ones. I bought them to arm some of the newbies. And
okay, that's nice. His newbies.
Yeah.
The ones very much that Bron can
PMC.
Go. I love the idea of Bron's PMC.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to fight this battle. Pay us.
But yeah, so that's another story for another time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, like, so you go in and you bid for stuff, like openly. But there used to be something called the private bourse, which you could only go to if you had a seat.
A bourse seat,
A bourse seat. But the problem with that was, it was designed by PD to be like the 1% of the 1% could be like, you know, like these fat cats. Like he wanted, the guys wanted that to be a thing, which is great because it's funny. It's colourful. It's colour, right, in the world. And it causes more conflict. But basically they had to get rid of it because they were forming essentially cartels, and they were just going like, right, there's a big lot of mithril coming up. I want some and you want some. I won't bid against you if you'll give me this much for this much. Yeah. And they'll just go, yeah. And so it essentially annihilated a lot of the competition. The competition and the value. But when I was at the public bourse, there's like 1 or 2 guys that have an insane... I saw 100 thrown coin when I was there, being paid, for example. It's like this big.
Like a novelty size.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3 people just dominating the market, and then everyone else is sort of there for scraps. Yeah. Like, it's...
Old money.
Labour would have a field day with what's going on right now.
Old Jeremy in there.
It's old money, that's why.
Yeah, it is. It is old money, you're right.
Yeah.
That's so to explain the old money thing, when the game was new, things were cheaper.
Massively cheaper.
And
well, it also, I mean, just resources were, you know, scarcer or more available and things like that. Like Ilium, which is used to create like permanent magic items, it is the rarest substance in the game.
No, truly ours.
But truly ours. So Ilium, you know, is the second one. You know, it was so much more available, and so people could just get it. Like you could go on a quest and you get Ilium and
can hold it,
and they keep it,
as
and
it rises
the price
in value.
goes up.
Not to mention, every time you go to an event, you get money.
Yeah,
and so there is that
constant
as well.
influx of free money.
So old players that keep their money and go to more events.
So there's an element of that. Doesn't mean that it's not hard to make money.
It's also hard to balance that.
Well, the thing
It
you
is
find
very
is
hard
that you and Steve have found that you can get into it, but you kind of have to focus on it. That has to be your focus. I want to make money and do this thing.
Just quickly going back to the priest thing. So I am a priest.
What?
So I am a priest in the game. I'm a priest of prosperity, which does fit my character in that I like being prosperous. I like sharing things. I like buying newbies magical items when I can afford it.
Doesn't buy me magic items.
I bought. Well, he paid for a lot of his stuff now, but I tried to get that sorted for Grim.
You did the intensive work
Yeah, the leg work essentially.
You
But
spent all night hammering that thing together.
Yeah, and the bloody timeless hammerism ritual. But yeah, I wanted to just see that done because it's cool,
it's a
and
cool
it's
thing.
awesome to have somebody who has that cool thing in the game. But yeah, as soon as I took priest, the event I first had priest was the heat wave, and it was bloody boiling. And I'm like, I've got to wear all this black, I've got all these feathers and all this sort of stuff, right? That the priests wear in Wintermark, and I was like, oh, I can't wear that. And I went to a meeting and I was all like, the event before I was really keen on the way, and like I like talking to Arhan, our priest, about it. It is very interesting. But like I feel like every event I go to, I just get this greater and greater sense that there is something going on with the priesthood, which is not good.
Not
you know?
kosher.
No, well, I mean like they're kosher in the eyes of their own way and all that sort of stuff. It's just I feel like there's this element of like I said, like infallibility, which is forming that. I don't want to be associated with. I don't want people to go, "Oh, you're a priest. You're gonna like nap my ear off." It's like no, like
Yeah. Well, I think that depends as well. Like I've never felt that way. It's interesting with Arhan because I like the way that Paul plays him. In that, I think Paul knows that like he'll just spout like nonsense. He'll spout wisdom nonsense. Be like. And often that just means playing devil's advocate and asking, but why are you doing that? And it's like, that's not offering help. That's just you being mysterious.
Yeah.
But I don't feel he ever nags us. But I do like the fact that he does try to play that kind of mystical, like, oh, I understand things beyond our knowledge.
I think
like
that I find that difficult sometimes as well, because whilst I think some people do know a lot about it, and I don't think Paul particularly suffers from this, but sometimes you bump into new characters or new people to Anvil that, as a priest have to pretend to be wise, but in reality, like out of character, they're not. Like they don't really know what they're talking about. And I know that I shouldn't take that into account at all, and I try my hardest not to. But at the same time, it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to roleplay where you're like, you have to go like,
it's like trying,
and then you're like,
it's like why in D&D I will never try and play a very intelligent character because I know I'm not an intelligent character, right? Like I'm not an intelligent person. I don't know how physics and science and stuff and things can work. I don't know geography, but obviously that person should know that stuff. And I think that there is that disconnect of, it's far better to play a character that builds on your own strengths than trying to pretend to be something you physically can't or do know. Like I think
it's not as enjoyable.
I
spend
think
so much work trying to make a fake character work rather than actually enjoying it.
And that's basically the reason why Sigvald as a character doesn't like or get the way, because Mark doesn't like or get the way. Like it's not an area of the game I'm particularly interested in. I think it's way too open and vague, like you said. So as for me, my way of dealing with that is having a character who's kind of a bit sort of like hands off from it and everything else, and that helps me.
Well, it reminds me of like it's a bit like critical thinking and philosophy, like in college. Like there's plenty of priests who are really good at that element in the game because they've essentially been given these lists of virtues, and it's their job to argue something either way using those virtues as a foundation.
It's debate club, isn't it? Really,
it's
basically.
Exactly, debate club. Yeah, exactly, and that's great. If you're good at that, that's great. But sometimes, you do get a whiff of like that doesn't make any sense, like rationally. And so that's. But the thing is, as well, that this debate club, and there are plenty of players who are really good at debate club. They are essentially empowered by the fact that they can be seen to be right.
Manipulate this.
And also, and I think it will vary nation to nation. In Wintermark, the Stormcrows especially have a lot of power because they determine your Skyne, which is like our story, and they can basically go, Frayed, bad person, you're afraid. And it's like, they're the ones that just get to decide that based on this vague, infallible system that backs up their own arguments.
And at what point does a priest fray somebody and then their hall comes and says, no, and cut them all down?
Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find pretty soon.
And cut them all down, because that could happen. There are plenty of very militaristic halls. Like there are plenty of it hasn't happened because I'm guessing that the priests are like, we need to be serious about this. This is a big deal. We're not just going to do it because of that.
And I think that's basically what keeps it in power. It's the Stormcrow's own.
However, if more of these inquisitions happen and more people get slaughtered, but through execution, you're going to see some friction.
I think that's an indicator of
No, I've got too much going on right now to worry about that. But like,
I think that you will. You'll definitely see more stuff like that happening.
so the place I heard that was the Council of the Nine, which
Are you giving away too much information here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, well, me saying that isn't too much information, but essentially out of character, because I think I shouldn't talk about it in character.
Okay.
I'm Throne Guard, so I get to follow the Emperor's
listen in
round.
on a few things here and there.
So I went to the War Council, I went to the Council of the Nine, and heard a lot of interesting things. War Council, not so interesting.
Is it
Holy
not?
shit, there too many cooks ruined the fucking pot in the War
Ruined the
Council.
fucking battle plan.
Jesus, there are so many people in the War Council, and it's just like, it's a nightmare, honestly. Like, I can tell why so much shit goes wrong in the War Council, because like it's fucking like confusing as hell.
Yeah.
But the Council of the Nine was really interesting. So they're all cardinals of virtues, for example.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're the heads of their particular sect of priests.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting.
Yeah. I've heard that's pretty cool.
And yeah, I learned some interesting stuff there, which made me start thinking about priests.
Nice.
And that's basically where that came from.
About cutting them down.
Moving on from cutting down priests,
No.
I am not involved in any of this.
I'm not either. I'm
Right.
just. I can just imagine someone like Dunharth, like somebody getting
be like,
just like, no, you're not playing this guy, and then just their whole hall comes out, which is like, what, like 80, 90 people just fucking kill all
I can
these.
just imagine Ailson just coming out like, right, you bastards! and just decimating everyone. Because they have the military skill, like the hard skill.
Just the weight of numbers.
Well, you know, Axine, General Axine, like he trains riot police. Like that is
does
his
he?
job.
Oh, right, I didn't know
and
that.
he then trains these guys to fight, and they
That's
do
very
reenactment and they do everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like he could absolutely just be like, right, shields up, let's fucking roll it.
I mean, it's like a rebellion against the church, isn't it? It could be really
It'd be really
interesting.
fun. Yeah.
But fuck, I'm not sure what the priest could do to stop that.
They could do nothing.
Moving on
Yeah,
from
yeah.
killing priests,
It's just fun conjecture.
let's talk about Saturday's battle.
Yes, that was awesome.
So Saturday's battle this time, we're going to move on. Saturday's battle this time was actually a bit different. Normally we've talked about it before where one side plays the heroes and the other side plays the barbarian orcs. Well, this time the armies that got sent out as their characters were going to fight out against our zombie horde, an undead horde, which has been roaming around causing problems in Dawn and stuff like that. And we went out there and it was different in a couple of ways. The first one was as soon as the first nation went through, they were instantly engaged. Normally you go through, you walk around a bit, you get in the woods, you go out in the field, and then you have like a line and you hit.
Was it High Guard?
It was, I think it was High Guard or Dawn, I can't remember which one, but they basically went out first, and as soon as they got out the portal, they were set upon. It was like masses of armies, and they're like hacking apart zombies.
Yeah.
So when we came through the gate, we're literally running through like an ongoing battle, like to get on to the next point, which was really intense.
It like blockaded the exit of the portal as well.
Yeah, so we had to like
We
they had to
physically
push them
couldn't get
away.
people on the field in time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was really good.
Really
so
good.
all of the zombie players had like zombie makeup, and they were all like moving around like slow zombies.
because of
But
that.
they were meant to be reanimated Dawnish, right?
Yeah, they were meant to
So
be
they're
reanimated.
dressed as Dawnish.
Yeah.
And it was really confusing.
Yeah. So you had to like
Didn't
there
know
was
who was a zombie, who
well
wasn't.
there was quite a lot of lineage characters like Briars and Draugr, real players in the battle who were
guys
being
with, like-
attacked by other
Yeah.
nations because they were like fucking zombie. It's like no, what are you doing? It's like oh sorry.
The Archmage of Autumn was killed.
Yeah,
Because he was a Briar, I think, which is
Yeah.
like a person with like wood in their face, essentially.
And just looked a bit zombie-ish,
yeah.
and so
Oh no, he was a Draugr.
Draugr, and so they look undead.
So we managed to get to the
So we got to the gate. That was it. It was we were going into the woods to disrupt a ritual or something like that. I think that was the vague thing. Or
we
like
had to
circles.
do stones.
Yeah, we had to do
Series of
rituals
stones
around stones.
We had to like close off the energy from.
Yeah, and so we had the Saker, which is a Wintermark
blew up
Coven, and
the
they
gate.
were like doing it. They blew open the gate with a spell.
That was a horrific pincer maneuver, like in there.
So I think that was the first time I've seen the Wardens and Stormspire and Dunhurst go down.
Yeah.
I've never seen them go down before, but we pushed through as a big unit. And
We
I
just got
remember
wedged.
we basically just got wedged between two forces.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point there was two lines, we were fighting off, everything seemed fine, and then the next minute it was me, Balder, who was played by tall guy Matt with a ponytail in Dunhurst. It was me and Balder, and everybody else was down. And me and him are like back to back, surrounded by these zombies. And it was like a
super
real
lucky.
like I saw you go down, and I just couldn't get to you.
I got pulled back, thankfully, and healed. But I was almost dead.
Yeah, like loads of people went down, and I think that was the first time. And this was in the first 5 minutes of us getting on the
just
field.
went through the game, and
it was
awesome.
bad. It was really good.
It was so good.
But go on.
So the unique thing about the enemy you're fighting, as opposed to normal orcs, they sometimes have abilities that let them get back up. These, what were they called?
Husks.
That's it.
Or
Husks.
something, or like, yeah.
So if you don't execute the husk after a short period of time, it gets back up.
Yeah.
So normally when you're fighting in like shield balls and all sort of stuff, you're like knock them down, push them back, kill them, roll over them, just keep killing and killing, right? But our wall moves forward and there's a gap behind us where we'll have things like healers, skirmishers, mages. And if those husks were allowed to get up behind us, we'd be hitting a flank and all of our sort of clothies behind us would start having some trouble.
Yeah.
And so it was really awesome because we were like meat grinding our way through it. And I was there with my big like spear thing, smashing stuff. And then the guys behind us were just like,
execute, like, you know, you get down and you put your sword to their throat and you're like pretending to cut the head off.
Yeah.
There was one guy, I don't know if you guys saw this, I think it was some of the new guys. I was fighting through a line and one guy went to his knees and then I just kind of like theatre kind of kneed him in the face. Like I kind of did like a fake and he was like, whoa! And he like threw himself backwards and then I like plunged the swords and he's like, wah! And like there was a couple of new guys that just looked at me like, it was like, oh my god, that was amazing. And I'm just like carrying on. And I just went fucking mental in that fight. Like I don't know what happened to me, but I just had all the balls in the world. So I was like doing things like, there was a point where I was with Warcrow and the Heart of the Mark, and there was a bunch of these husks and there was a herald who was like reanimating them, like one of the necromancer basically. And I was just like, what are you lot doing? Kill him! And I just ran through the zombies, took like 3 hits, and just got on this guy and was like, bam, 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 dropped him down. And then I turned behind and they'd all rushed forward and took out the zombies and stuff like that. This would unfortunately lead to the closest call I have ever had at LARP. So we did all the stuff in the woods, and then we came out. You guys remember we came back through the gate?
Yeah, before
Go
that, Blackhand went down a couple of times.
Oh, I didn't see this, no.
And he was just on his own, getting fucking wailed on by loads of zombies, and I just rushed to him. And tried to protect.
Blackhand.
Boric Blackhand. Skirmish leader.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I went out to save him and bring him back. I think it's like second or third time I brought him back. And I just got wailed on by pikes behind me because everyone thought that I was
because you've got the face.
And I was trying to tear him apart. And you came in to save me from that.
Yeah. So he was
like,
getting
you
smashed.
idiots!
I'm like, stop fucking him! He's one of
Wake him
us!
up.
The hell's wrong with you? Get the fuck
I'm
back!
just trying to save Blackhand again.
I remember
I forgot because you had like the black circles around the eyes, and that's fun.
That happened so many times though. Like there was a bit where a bunch of guys were retreating, from like there was like 3 or 4, I don't know, Navarre I think, were running through the Wintermark line. We were like, what the hell are they doing? And then somebody I didn't see took a swing at one of them, thinking they were like an advancing line. What they had in fact done, they were skirmishes and they were retreating.
Yeah.
And so somebody in our line that I didn't see swung at them, and so one of the Navarre guys swung to just like block it.
Yeah.
And then,
but then that's it. They just thought that was the attack.
But then I was like, oh, and he's like, we're the good guys. I'm like, what the hell? It was so confusing.
But it's interesting, right? You can see how like in a big fight, like fuck, it can be confusing.
Yeah.
Like I've done it a few times where I've hit Imperial Orcs by mistake. Like when we fought alongside Imperial Orcs, and I've just seen this big orc next to me. I'm like, rah!
Yeah, it's
like it's so confusing.
Well, and also that character, Old Bort, you were just wandering around because they thought you were an Imperial Orc, right? Like, what's going on? I just saw like knee deep in a line, and I'm like, what's he doing?
Like I would literally walk through their lines, get to a friendly orc, kneel down, get them up, and then we'd run away. It was so good.
Anyway.
No, yeah, so
we got outside.
in the last bit, we basically made a big push outside, and we got through the gate back out onto the open field. And we were fighting in a line, and there was a little bit of to and fro. There wasn't too many of the husks around, but a lot of our line was still just coming through. And I turned around, I saw one of these heralds with just a single sword, kind of separated on his own, and I thought, I've got like 3 unstoppables left. I'm gonna fucking take this guy. I've got a cleave left. I ran in, I cleaved his leg, and I started wailing on him. And he turns around and he weaknesses me. So weakness means that you can't use any hero powers. So I couldn't use my ability to get back up. I couldn't heal any limbs. I was like, okay, fuck. And I can see more.
You're just a mortal man now.
I was a mortal man. But also I could see more of like these zombies coming towards me. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna run back to the line. ran the fucking wrong way, and I ran into about 10 of these zombies who just turned on me, and I was like, oh shit, bam bam, got a cleave to the back and just went down, or like cleave to the back of the leg, went down, and then they pounced on me and they start like pretending to eat me and claw me, and they're like nom 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 nom, they're like making noises, and I'm like flopping around, and I look over and I can just see the line, and you think you guys, I could just about see you, and you were miles away. I was like,
yeah, I didn't even know, I did not know where you were.
Even better. So I'm counting away, and it gets to, so normally characters have 3 minutes and 30 seconds bleed timer. It got to 2 minutes and a bit, and the line had just started moving, and I went, this is it, Sigvald's gonna die, like I'm gonna die right now, I can see the line, they're not gonna get me. And as it starts getting closer, I can see you two fighting, and I'm going, Grim! Grim! And you can't hear me, and I'm like, Grim! And the line keeps going, and you just walk right past me, and I'm like, fucking guys, I've got like 20 seconds left, please. And then luckily, like, the line moves up, and this Dornish lady just sees me and like looks at me curiously, and I'm like, help! And she like rose up, she starts pulling me back, and she's like, what's the matter? Do you need, like, is it a cleave? What is it? And I'm just out loud, I go, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then like there's a light in her eyes, and she goes, stay with me, no. Like, cause like I was literally counting out my death. I was like, oh, thank you.
To stay with me is like a heroic call that can bring a person back.
It's 1 to 1 hit point, basically. Yeah. Cool. So she gets me up with this 1 hit point, pats me on the back, and then I stumble over to Lisa, like Roshar, who's in our hall, and I think she misheard me, because she said, are you okay? And I said, I had 10 seconds left or something like that, and she thought I said I've got 10 seconds left. So she just starts panicking and is like healing me, like just starts healing me as well. But it was I literally had 4 seconds left before my bleed out timer ran out, and this lady got me up. It was, I don't think I will die if that happens again.
Yeah,
like,
for
it was,
sure. That was close.
It was such a stupid thing as well. Like, I just ran the wrong way. If I had gone right instead of left, I would have run into our lines, and I would have been fine.
Shit.
Stupid idiot.
Happens. How Elf died. Well, no,
good fight though. It was a good one. It was a good battle, and then
we put Operation Threshing the Wheat into like full so. I think we talked about it previously, but basically one of the things that Trott's character Grim can do is empowering, which basically allows you to call a heroic call
like
for like
strike down
for free, essentially, based on your weapon. And I got this like thing, this new weapon that's got like basically a big curved thing on it, and we worked out that even if the husks go down, if you cleave them, they're not dead, but they can't use their legs. Yeah. And so we were just doing this thing.
It's a classic zombie taking out the legs, making calls.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to cleave, and just like, I get something in the
so many limbs.
Yeah. And so we were just like, and then they just create an absolute barrier for their own guys as well. So you're just like ruining their line. Yeah. And it's like, right, let's take him down. And it's like, all right, Grim, can you shatter that guy's weapon? Yeah. And it was surgical.
I'm so powerful.
Surgical. Yeah, it was really
because of the staff. I'm so powerful.
It was so
I think I realised, because with the because also for this tournament that morning I drunk like an extra 3 hit potion.
Yeah.
So I was on 10 hits for that event, and I just worked out. I was like, I can just run through their lines. Like, they'll hit me 2, 3, 4 times. But if I can get to the other side, I can just fuck them up.
This is the thing.
So I just be like,
a lot of HP.
I just juggernaut through them, and it works amazingly well. Like, once you realise that you can take a few hits, even if I didn't have that potion, I've still got 7. You can exchange like 3 hits to just close the gap and wail on them, and then you can take them down super easy. And once you work that out, it makes things a lot easier. And that came into a bit more of an effect because I did my tournament as well.
Yeah.
So after the big battle on Saturday,
that was fun.
You guys were doing some trading. You actually made popcorn to sell at this tourney, didn't you?
Yeah, although I got a bit distracted with the tournament itself.
So what happened is in Dawn they have this big square where they have these fights, and they've arranged the Glory Square. They arranged it last event where I think it's for a special college for the mages, like it's like a special thing for the mages. They decided to have a tourney to decide which Eternal gets ownership of it, and I got picked as one of the champions for Rionos, who's the Herald of Eternal of Adventure. And so me, a guy called Vito from the Brass Coast, who is really fucking good, and Maximilian, who is an amazing, like really funny Dornish mage, who was pretty much the funny star of the show. We were the 3 for Rionos, and when we got inside this Glory Square and we started looking at the other teams, all around us it was like full plate mail, great swords, pikes, all like huge 3 shields. Super armored dudes, and there's Vito with a big shield and an axe, me with 2 little short swords, and Maximilian who's like, yeah, he's got like blonde hair hair, and
like
he's just
silk.
like super fabulous Dornish mage, and it was just like we were like, we're fucked. We're so fucked. We're gonna get absolutely destroyed. And I'd done a little bit of practice with Ulrich Trev, our guy who taught me a few things. Me and you had been doing some practice in the morning.
Good stuff, actually.
Yeah, it was really useful. Like I think for both of us, because like
me entangling.
Yeah, fuck me, that was really good.
What
And paralyzed as well.
Basically, me just entangling him
Because my reach, I just can't get close to him.
Just be like wail on him.
Does entangle only cost 1?
Yes,
yes.
That's the
So
benefit
that's
over
the benefit of
paralyzed.
paralyzed,
Yeah.
And he's just stuck there, and I could just wail on him.
And he can do it like every time I got free, he'd just entangle me again. Whereas with paralyzed, you can only do that a couple of times.
Yeah, one-on-one mages are like a mage with the full complement of spells that you've got.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's so hard to beat.
Yeah. So what is this was a 3-on-3, and I think there was 5 teams of 3. So it was 5 teams of 3, all against each other, grand melee. And we
Us
got
on the sidelines cheering you
It
on.
was so good. You guys were like literally right behind us in the corner. We had all of Ashenhall there. We had Mac and some of the Navarre.
Yeah,
we had
really
Vito's Brass Coast
Drinking and
friends.
chanting.
Like we had like a whole line
It was
basically.
awesome. It was really good. Probably
And,
one of my favourite bits of LARP so far.
And we got in the tournament and like they start going around and they're like the champions of blah and there's like a little cheer and champions of blah, there's a little cheer. It gets to us and like all of our side are just like whoa, all the winter market
Making
there and
shit
it's like
ton of
making loads of
noise.
noise.
So
So we
much
were
fun.
like, oh well, at least if we go out early, we've kind of got like a big crowd favourite thing going on. And we found out that the 2 big Dornish groups, apparently it was obvious they were going to team up. So the Marchers came over to us and they said, if they do that, should we just have a
that was
non-aggression
really
pact?
awesome.
So we were like, okay, yeah, if they team up, we just won't attack you. So it ended up becoming like this massive fight. The Dornish kind of teamed up a little bit and then the others all kind of worked together and stuff as well. But fuck me, did we do well? Holy shit.
You really did.
So myself and Vito from the Brass Coast, we were the last 2 against this team of 3 Dornish who were very good fighters, but they had invested a lot of money. Like they had actually got like magic
Potions
arms,
on potions.
loads of like I think after the fact they came up and told Vito that they had got burnt through 2 Sovereign Specifics, which is one of the most expensive potions in the game, and we didn't have anything like that. And it was all about mobility. Like me and Vito were constantly running around, getting around the side of them. Like even me, I was really proud of how well I fought because
you did
I
well.
was going toe to toe against a guy in full plate with like a big 2-hander, and he couldn't touch me. I was just like bam, 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 parry, parry, parry. But eventually, like we got some good blows in. We got really close to beating them, and then one of them pulled out this. It's a 2-handed magic weapon called the Troll Hammer, but he was got a sword, which does paralyze. And he just hit me with the paralyze. I was like, what? And then I just died.
I remember that confusing moment.
There was a literal and audible what? And then just bam, 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 bam.
And you
I'm
just went,
down.
"Nah,
And then I couldn't use my hero points to get back up.
So your mate had both their arms cut off, didn't they?
That was it. So like Maximilian very quickly early on got both of his arms cleaved. So he's running around like this, just literally running and avoiding all of these blows. He runs up, he's like, Sigvald, I've got a potion in my pocket. Feed it to me. So in the middle of the battle, I'm like fending one off and I'm like rummaging in his pocket and I'm like, there you go, mate, drink that. He's like, ha ha! And he like pulls out a little wand and he's like, ha ha! And he's like running around. And I think we ended up being like really big cheers.
The
Everyone
people's
really loved us.
champions.
Yeah, that's
you
a lot of
really
people
were.
were saying that afterwards.
Oh man, I mean, Dawn aren't known for their popularity amongst other nations.
Their goal is to win no matter what the cost. Like, they don't care about honour, they're not chivalrous or anything like that. They win. That's what they do.
Yeah, and so
they won,
the
so.
Rionos' champions were, I think, the people's champions. Is
For
what we
sure.
wanted
I
to
think
come up
like,
with
that was definitely down. But Vito, man, that fucking guy, what a great fighter as well.
Awesome
Like,
character as well. Like,
he's
he
just
looks sick.
Well, he
Like,
looks super good. I'm pretty sure I've got some good photos because both
Oh,
Lisa
some really
and
good
Beth took some photos of the tourney.
Yeah.
There was one point where I did like a jumping attack.
Yeah, I saw.
I
Wham!
wham!
And there was like shields like all over the place. It's just like it's funny.
It was so dumb.
Also, it thundered and it was super
Oh god,
atmospheric.
it's so good.
I think it was literally as soon as she said the summer tourney,
went-
and then it was like,
it was
It's like Hunger Games style.
it was really good.
yeah, it was one of my favourite moments in
It was a
LARP,
great
just 'cause
spectator sport.
It
yeah.
felt almost like, and I don't want to cheapen it by saying it, I almost felt like I was almost like a Harry Potter level of like Quidditch, you know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
where
yeah. Like the whole crowd cheering on.
everyone's like your champions,
Yeah.
you know, and like I really enjoyed that.
For me, it was a Knight's Tale. Like it just felt
Yeah.
like that kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
all that kind. The only thing I wish is I really wanted to have each team have like a little intro, like somebody could, because I wanted Tarek to do ours and
Yeah.
just be like, "Ladies and gentlemen."
yeah, that would have been great. I mean, we can arrange more.
Yeah,
We
well,
totally
I think
should.
there would
Like,
definitely be more of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Glory
but-
Square is perfect for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's loads of, me and Tarek have had some fun ideas, but no,
Yeah.
that ended up being really fucking fun. And because I told you guys, I was so worried that I was just going to get taken out mega early. So the fact that I was like the second to last to go out of the enemy kind of thing,
Yeah,
I
it
was
did well.
like, fuck me, that was really good.
Oh, and I give Dawn a lot of shit in character, but thank you for all the players in Dawn that set up the Glory Square and all of the other. It's so cool. Like it's awesome.
And the thing is, as well, it's like I think it's you get the two types of Dawnish: the ones who are just like fucking win, we're the best, and then you get the ones who are all about the romanticism and sort of hospitality. Because we had a couple come by our tent afterwards.
That was awesome.
Super lovely, amazing singers, like 3 Dawnish lady singers that came by.
Yeah,
really fucking good. Maximilian's, he was fucking great. And Vito and Max actually came back to Ashenhall in the evening, and they ended up staying there most of the night, and we were like drinking and like so really good. No, it was a really nice thing for a Sigvold kind of character thing, because like him and Vito have become pretty like fast friends, and like he gave me like part of his like war coat that he wears. He like cut it off and said, "This is is for you. Like we fought together," kind of thing. It was just like fucking bros.
Yes, it was nice to have that.
Yeah, it was like an army. Yeah, that was it. Because we were the only. I think we were the only team that was multi-nation.
Right,
all of the other teams were like all Dawnish, all Marchers, all blah blah blah. Ours was one from Brass Coast, one from Dawn, and one from Wintermark, and we were fucking kick ass.
Yeah.
So thanks to the Marchers for allying with you guys.
Yeah, no,
that was really nice to see the pikes. Like
it was basically as soon as we saw the two Dawnish teams nod to each other, we were just like, okay, here we go. And like the Marchers came from one side, we just kind of came from the other way, and it was like chop, chop, chop. Yeah. Although there was one guy apparently who he was like in the middle of a fight, and he was just stood there looking around, and I was like, "Are you in this fight?" And he looked at me, he's like, "Yeah." And I went, "Okay." And I just started wailing on him. Apparently later on, he was one of the people that said he wouldn't attack us.
Oh, no.
I felt really bad. Because I didn't recognise him. I was just like, I don't know who you are. I'll fight you.
So awkward.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, speaking about your adventure you did as well.
Yeah.
I've now got some bones in my lockup.
Yes.
From that.
I should probably talk a bit about that as well. So, like, not to make this just like me telling stories, but so I mentioned that we got to go on a quest thing. This was one of the coolest things I've done at a LARP. So we got this quest, and I had to take 5 people, including myself, like real D&D adventuring party, and we had to go to an old tomb, bypass some traps, and purify this woman's bones. So we go to the conjunction, and it was me. I took Pud because I wanted somebody who knew what they were doing in case a fight kicked off. I took a new priest from one of the new halls that went with
Exorcism specialist, right?
Exorcism specialist. I took a mage from the Saker and a healer, a new physic as well. And I took those guys, and we went and we got taken. So you go through the portal, and we got led through the tent with the monsters. Like we got taken through the costume tent out to the back of like a tent that they'd set up at the back. We get sent inside, and inside it's pitch black, with just a few LED kind of like crystal lights, and then these braziers with like glowing embers, and the whole thing is pitch black, and there's these stone like pillars and stone tables all around, and the whole room from about 3/4 of the way in was covered in ropes with bells on them. And basically the mage gets in and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to cast detect magic," and the ref said, "Okay, you know that these wires have got powerful magic on them and stuff like that. You don't think you should touch them. You can sense that there's a powerful aura and blah, 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 blah." And then just out of fucking nowhere, this woman all in white with the kind of Japanese horror hair down her front just kind of steps out in a super creepy voice, and there's a green light behind her. And in this creepy voice, she's just like, "You shouldn't be here. Get out." And we're like, what the fuck? And I'd actually bought like a little satchel bag, and I'd filled it with loads of crap. So I'd bought like little extendable mirrors and scissors, and like I was just like, "What can I get? A rope? I'll get some rope." I bought all this crap in with me, and what I had to do was we had to take this pitcher of water with this kind of blessed water, and I had to pour it on all of her bone parts. But they were spread out amongst the tent, amongst all the wires. So I'm like with my antlers, I'm like trying to like crawl under them, and the others like a game, like a crystal maze game. They're like around the edges, going like, "No, duck your head, lower, right, okay, stand up," like, right, a little bit to the left. Nice. Like they're literally doing the crystal maze thing as I'm like weaving my way around, like get out. It's like, "We got 3 minutes. And they're like pouring water on, and we eventually did it, and we collected up the bones and stuff like that. And there was like, and as we were doing it, she was telling this story, which ended up is kind of really important and tied into some fucking shit that's going down. So like there's like a big story connected to it that might lead to some bad stuff going on in Empire, today's
and
Empire kind of thing.
The Egregore of Highguard had done to know this.
It was basically one of these things where I can't talk about the details, but we learned some information that is could shine a negative light on Highguard to Wintermark but we need to find out the details for it. So when we got back, I spoke to our egregore, Suak egregore, and the Storm Crows. I went and spoke to them in the Rookery and said, look, this is what I found out. I don't know what to do. But this is not my area of expertise. I'm a fucking treasure hunter. I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
And they basically said, okay, we don't think we should tell Highguard right now. We need to find out more information. So I was like, okay, if that's what you want me to do. And then she got mad because I didn't go and tell her. So she sent people to find me and bring me to her and was like, you said you were going to come and tell me what happened. You've not told me what happened. And I'm like, I can't tell you what happened. I promised that I wouldn't, blah, blah, blah. But I will do as soon as I'm allowed to. And she's pissed at me. And I had to go get my egregore to I basically was like, egregore, can you come tell the other egregore that I'm doing what you told me, please?
It's of national importance.
It's of national importance. So, and now they're actually, Highguard are going to assign a new to Anvil archivist, like a librarian, to come and help me with what I want to do to find out more information. So it's now becoming very Indiana Jones.
Yeah, right.
I've got to search up history and stuff like that. But the whole atmosphere of this little puzzle room that they created was so fucking good. The lighting, the woman that they had playing the ghost, she was just even though I was crawling around, she was just reeling off this spooky speech and just they had this kind of haunting wind music coming through it.
Oh.
And the best thing is as we were walking over there, the ref that was taking us was like, I'm sure this isn't relevant to what you're doing, but just so you know, if somebody calls mass strike down, you also take a point of damage as well as the effect. Just so you know. Just a random piece of information. And we were like, oh God.
What's going to happen?
So yeah, I reckon if we'd hit one of these bells, it would have been a mass strike down and then she would have attacked us basically. Because she had weapons. She had swords and stuff. So, so it would have been pretty bad.
Very dexterous.
How many of those things happen?
Well, I know that there was at least one more that they did where I think it was the Highguard guys had to go in and there was a herald that they had to distract while they snuck around and stole something from behind them. So they basically had to go in and talk to them and keep their attention distracted while the others snuck around and nicked something. But a lot of that's the little mini quest stuff that they often do. And
quite like that.
And it was really nice taking the newer guys because they were just oh my God, what is this? And it's storyline that's been brought in.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I'm really fucking hoping that some cultists come after me and I can fight them in the fucking tavern or something like that.
There's
That's my fucking hope.
cultists about them.
Yeah,
There are a
so
lot.
I'm really hoping that's almost like an Indiana Jones style fight, throwing them out the tent, throwing them out the tent, no ticking and stuff like that.
LARP safe bar stools.
Yeah, throwing a bottle or something like that.
Ready foam.
Yeah.
I'm conscious of how long we're going on for.
Yeah,
There's one
fine.
other big thing I want
it's
to talk
fine.
about. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I think it probably...
So Sunday...
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What? Go on.
Me and Mac took some drugs.
Oh, God.
Is this Saturday night?
No, yeah, this was Saturday night.
It was Saturday night.
So me and Mac just went on a little tour.
Your Navarre friend, Mac.
Tour de force
Yeah.
of the place. We came across this bar. I can't remember where it was.
It wasn't it Tamish Bar? Was it Tamish
Yeah.
League bar, yeah.
Or the Orphan Bar? Orphan's Arms?
I think it might be Orphan's Arms.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, there's guys there oh, what do you guys want? It's oh, what have you got? It's oh, you should try this stuff. And they held up this little sachet of powder. They're oh, what's that? It's oh, this is good stuff. Costs a lot though. It's 5 crowns. So Mac's I'll spot you. This looks fun. And we both took it. Roleplay effect. It's you are euphoric for the next few hours. You are absolutely euphoric, and so we just played the shit out of it. We just went all the way around, yeah, look at the sky.
I remember
so nice.
You came into the hall. You were in the hall, and I walked in. You both looked up at me, and you were like, Sigvald, I just want to bask in you, and you just stand there.
We got tattoos from a random camp.
The tattoos being an axe wound or something.
We had proper tattoos on our wrist, and then we started tattooing each other with our weapons.
Oh yeah, that's what that was.
That was dumb shit. And yeah,
I wonder why you were cutting each other.
that night continued on and on.
There was a lot of shenanigans that night. I remember.
You want to talk about Sunday?
Also that night led into something that a few people probably remiss if I don't mention. I was quite drunk at this point.
We all were.
And I got given a hallowed blade, and so hallowed is something that priests can do.
Yeah.
And basically it instilled me, at the time I was joking with these guys because they were cutting themselves and I'm like...
I was doing the Hallowed Blade thing as well.
Yeah, I was
I was driven to go kill someone in Ashenwell. I can't remember who it was. Or just threaten them. That was...
basically it turned into God, you guys are going to be gelding each other in a minute. And they're like, what's gelding? I'm like, oh, I heard gelding. So we can cut somebody's balls off. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I should show you sometime. And then suddenly gave me the Hallowed Blade, which is like, you are driven to achieve your objective or something like that. And I was like, I geld somebody. And so we went around for ages trying to find somebody to geld. And I was
went to the bar.
You ended up cutting his balls off, or what? Like
so I was offering a crown to a person that would let me do something to them without them asking me a single
It's
question.
prosperous.
Yeah, and so somebody paid for it, and I was like, right, I want to cut your balls, cut one of your balls off. Don't worry. We've got a healer with us. We had a bunch of people with us. Like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be funny. So the bar was really quiet because it was really late at night, and we had him lay down like he was on a surgery table.
With noise.
Yeah,
and just
but then this guy
RP.
ran off. It was really funny because he ran off. He's like, "No, you're not doing it. I don't want to do it." And I'm like, "Hey, I've given you the crown, man. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Leave me alone." And then his mate was here, and he's like, "I've left my jacket in the bar." It was like hilarious. Like, it was really
so
funny. And I'm
So
like,
good.
"Come and get it." And he's like, "No, you're gonna geld me. Hand me it. And I was like, "Oh, here you go." And he's like, "Whoa," and I ran off into the night, and it was funny as hell. But then eventually, yeah, we gelded,
Pinned
pinned
down.
him down, and gelded him, and took one of his balls and put it in somebody else, and gave them 3 balls. And then who was the new guy from our hall, McCain?
Oh, Craig. Craig's character. Thorin, I think. Thorin or something.
And he was like, I want 3 balls. And so we did it again. And so he's like, oh, and then him and the other guy were like, oh, it's so heavy, right? And anyway, and then Trott was like, oh,
I want my ball back.
Grim guys, I want my ball back. And then luckily there was this spring ritualist guy that came in and
silver
did
face, big
candy and horns, did all this shit and regrew his balls for him. It was really
He was also
stupid.
Like, come see me in the morning because this could be dangerous.
Because now apparently there's a chance that he could have spider babies or something like that.
like spiders in
And
his
then-
testicles.
He came to me in the morning. He's like, has there been any developments? Any spiders?
It was just it was really silly. But
Speak
like,
to Wolf about that. He'll give you a checkup.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll give you a checkup.
It was so
It
dumb.
was super
Spring.
dumb.
Archmage of
but-
Spring, can you tell me if there's anything wrong, please? Like, you just drop your trousers. Oh, that's not good. We've got spider balls.
It was a super funny little moment. But
What was it
not-
on Sunday? What was it on Sunday?
The War Rhinos.
Oh, fuck
Yeah, like so there. It was ridiculous. So the PD had made this mass battle. We were orcs. We were the monsters. This was our monster
With Grendel
day.
again. We're
Grendel.
Bolts again.
And we were fighting with 3 massive war rhinos. It was essentially just this huge thing that somebody sits on the top of with people underneath pushing it along, and they're super powerful.
Yeah, they looked so cool.
Yeah.
We've had one. There's been one at Empire before which almost wiped out Wintermark, and then in this battle there were 3.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And we were like aligned in a way that covered it up and everything like that. And
Yeah, I remember like when the players were being brought onto the field, we had to
blocked
form
it.
lines so they couldn't see the 3 war rhinos. It was so
Surprise them with them.
it's difficult to explain like battles. Like we've done a lot of battle talk already.
Yeah.
But it was just so awesome to like see like the huge figures with us moving.
We can
in.
talk about battles because I'll have some drone footage as well,
Yeah.
so they can show off like the scale and stuff like that.
You've got to stand there and be amongst it, smelling it, breathing it in,
Yeah.
be a part of it
The
to
latex.
really experience it.
Yeah.
Like just standing
The
in your
immersion.
line, seeing the war rhino in the distance back there, just
Yeah.
like nodding its
And then just
little-
seeing the line. Like these things are massive. These things are a good like 10, 15 foot tall.
And it helps that there's a person sat on top to
Yeah.
like,
With
and
emphasize.
they've got like a
With a
long spear and a
spear.
shield.
And then you could watch their line. You're like, we were kind of glad we're not facing this thing, you know. Like, and the other part, you know, how the battles work. If you don't know, it's half the nation, half the empire player base monsters for a day, whilst the other half plays their characters,
Yeah.
and then switches over on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we could have been in this fight. However, it was our Dana monster, and so we just watched all of the sort of characters aligned, like, okay, guys, get ready for this thing to hit
Here it
us.
comes.
Yeah, it was like,
And it does like mass strike or like
Yeah.
mass knockbacks and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
And
nuts.
that was also, I remember I was using a spear. I was playing like, I didn't go in as old boy. I went in with a spear. Fuck me, using a spear at Empire is so good.
Yeah.
Like it's so
powerful.
strong.
Yeah.
Like, because unless they rush you, unless they're brave enough to just rush past and take the hits, they just can't get near you. And in a line, when you've got 3 mates backing you up, they can't rush you
And a
because
shield
then they'll
in
just
front
get
of
chopped down. You're just like, bam, bam, bam.
It's powerful.
So good.
That's why there's so many of them.
Yeah, no, it's super powerful. That's why I want to get my trident.
That's stupid.
It's
Trident.
gonna be amazing, all right?
Get a trident, just not that trident.
No, I'm gonna get that trident.
It's
And it's
got 3 penises on the end of it.
no, your 3 penises. It's gonna look great. But yeah, is there anything else you guys can think of? The main things for me was the ones I've already gone over about.
I went on a little skirmish with Mac.
Oh, did you?
He invited me because I had venom, and it was
okay.
useful because we were going to fight the tree people.
Valorn.
The Valorn, yeah.
And they're just quick super quick. It was kind of like later in the day. And
Was this the one with the Jotun as well?
yeah, so we turned up and Jotun were there. Apparently it's Jotun territory. And they were like, what are you guys doing in Navarre, a notorious...
They hate the
They hate
Jotun,
the
and
Jotun.
Jotun hate them as well.
Whereas Wintermark and Jotun are
bit
kind
more
of
of a-
making some,
Inroads.
there. And so I was kind of stuck in the middle of this feud. And they were like, you're allowed one pass through, one pass back, because we were trying to get a sword or something, bring back an artifact or something like that. And we went through once, and they were on the other side, and we heard them saying, they're taking an awfully long time. I hate them. Like, if they make it back, we're going to cut them down, like stuff like that.
Shit.
Ended up in a fight, and we slaughtered all the Jotun. And I'm like, I don't want to fight you. I don't. Don't make me fight you. And they attacked. So I was like, shit. Fuck, I'm a Wintermarker killing Jotun.
Oh no,
That's right.
Yeah, I annihilated them with mech.
all those diplomatic efforts put to waste by Grim.
Well,
Grim and Mac.
I blame Navarre, and Mac doesn't blame me, so it's fine. It's fine.
Nice.
But that was fun.
Yeah, sadly, the last one for this year, so there's not going to be another one of these recap videos until next year, sadly. I might be able to do one for some little events I'm going to, but the next one's not till April.
Damn.
Sad, it's an awfully long time away, but yeah, what do you guys, so the last year, you've gone for a full year now. Enjoyed
events.
it? 4
Yes.
events?
Oh, dude, I wish there was more.
You just wish there were more?
Yeah,
Looking
I'd
forward to
happily
more?
go to like 8 events. Like, honestly, like...
I think that everyone you go to a little bit more.
You just get a bit more into
the
it
hooks
and-
get in a little
Yeah,
deeper.
it changes from like the wonder of it. Like I remember my first one, I was just like,
you
this is
guys were just so
crazy.
blown away by it.
So like now, like feeling like you're getting a grip for the system, and you're like, all right, what can I really do now? You know, like
you've got the
really,
ambitions
let's
and
try
stuff.
and do something interesting.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is probably worth saying, especially with some of the things I've said, is this is all considered out of character discussion of in character stuff. So you don't know this stuff unless you've spoken to us about it in character.
Yeah.
So don't come up to Bron and go, I heard what you said. Yeah, let's do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Like,
You didn't hear it.
because the thing is that if people start taking what we say now as like information for the game, then we're gonna have to stop talking about certain things.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that. Like,
No,
I like the
exactly.
fact that we can talk about, like, we don't go into detail about stuff, our plans and what we're up to, but
If your character wasn't there when things
exactly.
are happening, you haven't
you don't
heard
know
it.
it.
Yeah.
Other quick thing as well, thank you to Gems Trading Company who gave
yeah,
us some stuff as well.
Yeah,
Big
for
thank you
sure.
to those guys.
Yeah, they got. I think there's some photos of me wearing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
They
yeah.
gave me like this awesome leather chest thing that they've made.
Yeah.
Trott
I
had
got a
this.
beautiful neck shoulder piece
It's so good.
with a little mink on it.
Yeah, it's recycled mink. Don't worry, it's reused.
It is
it's
recycled.
not like
Absolutely.
It's taken from
I
the
had to
whole
ask about
discarded
that.
coast.
Yeah. I got like some greaves and a new tunic, which was really nice as well. But no, very, very kind. Thank you.
apparently we
yeah,
have
they
done
gave it to us for
a lot, yeah.
But
helping
also,
the economy.
but it's also, he makes all of his own leather armor and stuff, and it's good stuff. It's actually really nice. I wouldn't be saying that unless it was like, you know, if it was crap, I wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's really nice leather stuff, and it was reasonably priced as well. It was all really good pricing.
So check out Gems Trading
Gems Trading
Co.
Company. I think they have a website, but generally buy from at the event because it just works a lot better.
And you can try it out and
You
stuff.
can
Yeah,
try
you
it
got
and
the
stuff like that as well.
Steinery green.
Yeah, I got my nice new link
that's
tunic
really nice.
that looks pretty good. So yeah, big thank you to those guys. Thank you all to the photographers and stuff who have said that I can use all their photos and things like that. And also thank you to all the new players who don't come over and role play with us. Like that's the main thing we always say. We have no problem with people coming up and talking to us. Just role play. Just be the game.
Make sure it fits the
game.
scenario. The
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple of people who actually said, I think to me and you at one point, a couple of new folks who came, guy and a girl, and they said, "Oh, we didn't want to come and bother you." And it's like, no, you can come and speak to us. Just do it in character. Like we want to role
Have
play
a
with
reason
people.
to come speak to
Yeah,
us.
have a
Yeah.
reason. Yeah, don't just like queue up.
Yeah, that's the main thing. But apart from that, it's really good. Thank you to all the PD guys as well. Speaking to you guys, you've made it very clear that if we ever have problems and stuff, we can always come and chat to you guys, and you've just been really supportive of all the videos and stuff like that as well.
How do I deal with my heretic problem? Let me know.
Yeah.
Also, I want to fight cultists. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this little recap episode.
Yeah. See you
Hope
next
you've enjoyed
year.
all the drone footage and stuff as well. Leave a comment
Yeah.
so I can feed back to Matt P and the guys from Profound Decisions.
And subscribe to Tabletop Weekly.
He
didn't pay me for that.
And
Didn't
yeah,
even
I
pay
didn't.
him.
No, didn't even pay him.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye.